And we welcome you to Little Creek Park here in South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry, and we're ready for the championship game of the winner's bracket between Cabell Midland and St. Albans on a beautiful evening here in South Charleston, and we are ready to go. It'll be St. Albans. They will be batting first. Cabell Midland in the field. Cabell Midland, obviously the home team. They'll be wearing the white uniforms trimmed in red. St. Albans, the Red Dragons, will be wearing their red uniforms trimmed in white and black. And we are ready to go as St. Albans' Kendall Stovall will lead off, followed by Julian Holly and Taven Stevenson. And we are ready to go. In the earlier game, Washington defeated John Marshall 5-4. So John Marshall's been eliminated. The loser of this game will have a 9:45 date with Washington tomorrow, and for the winner, they can sit back and see who they will play in the winner's bracket. So we're ready to go. So Stoffel will lead things off, and we are underway as the first pitch of the ball game is low for ball one. So 1-0 the count to Stoffel, followed by Holly and then Stevenson, and the pitch. That bounces up there, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And just a gorgeous evening here in the Kanawha Valley here in South Charleston. And here comes the 2-0 pitch, and that's high for ball 3. So 3-0 to Stoffel. St. Albans 31-1 as they enter the ball game. And the 3-0 delivery, that is low, ball 4. So Stoffel walks on 4 pitches. And the leadoff man is aboard here in the top half of the first inning. So it'll be Jillian Holly stepping to the dish for St. Albans. And the pitch. And that'll be ball 1. So that's 5 straight balls for the Cabell Midland pitcher. Walks Stoffel on 4 pitches and starts Holly off with a ball. So 1-0 the count. And here comes the pitch. Swung on, and this ball is fouled down the left field line. Way out in front of that one. That time was Holly. So the count evens, had a ball and a strike. Both first and third playing in on the grass. This ball is swung on. There's a drive, left field, going back. The ballpark won't hold it. 2-run home run. And St. Albans is on the board. That's our first home run of this AAA tournament. And that is Holly as she deposits it over the left field fence, and a 2-0 St. Albans lead. We were just talking about that in the press box before this game had started, that we hadn't seen a home run yet on this field, and Jillian Holly delivers with the dinger a 2-run shot, and it's 2-0 in favor of St. Albans. So it'll be Taven Stevenson will be the hitter. Stevenson fouls it back. Count is 0-1. So that got off this. That got this big crowd off to a bang with that 2-run shot over the left field wall. Here's the pitch, swung on. This ball is hit out toward right. It's going to be over the head of the right fielder. It'll go all the way to the wall. There's at least a double, going for a triple as the ball comes back in, and that'll be a triple. So a home run and a triple. And 2 hits and 2 runs already in for St. Albans, and it'll be Payne, Gracie Payne, coming to the dish. So Stoffel walked. She scored on the 2-run home run by Holly, and Stevenson now triples to right center. And Gracie Payne will now be the hitter. And obviously this is not the way that Cabell Midland wanted to start, off to a rough, rocky start here in the top half of the first inning. So Payne will be the hitter with a runner at third, 2 runs already in. A 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run by Jillian Holly. So Gracie Payne will be the hitter.
It's pronounced Moss, not Moser.
And the pitch. Over for a called strike. So 0-1 the count to Payne. And the pitch. That bounces up to the plate, 1-1. The infield back a little bit, so they'll trade. They'll give up a run to get an out. In on the Grasso at first. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside. The count will go to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. To Gracie Payne, the 2-1 offer. Swung on, that's fouled. Off to the right, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count. And the pitch. That ball bounces up to the plate. That'll be ball 3, and we've gone full. 3-2. Beg your pardon, 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch, that's outside. Now we're at full at 3-2. So full count. 3-2 to Gracie Payne, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. And now you got runners at the corners.
Your hits are wrong, too.
So there have been 2 walks and 2 hits in this inning. A walk, a home run, a triple, and another walk. And Taylor Glancy will now be the hitter. And this is a chance for St. Albans to really open this game up right here in the first inning. She squares the bunt, and she takes a called strike, 0-1. You know, I've seen a lot of bunting, but you think you're 5th hitter. So when you expect to drive in runs, maybe you wouldn't have her to bunt, as this pitch is popped out of play behind the press box. And the count goes to 0-2. And, of course, I'm not trying to second-guess or trying to coach, because these coaches definitely know their teams better than I do. But you just don't see too many players that hit in the 5th slot that bunt. And this pitch is high and outside. As the runner from first makes his way down to second. So we've got 2 runners in scoring position, third and second, and nobody out. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So there's the first out of the ball game. Taylor Glancy strikes out, and Jaden Conrad will be the hitter. So Conrad will hit with 1 out and 2 on, and 2 already in for St. Albans. And here's the pitch. That's swung on and fouled back. 0-1. So 0-1 the count to Conrad. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that's high for ball 1. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. And that'll be low for a ball. 2-1 the count to Conrad. And here comes the 2-1 offering. And that's swung on, and that ball's going to be fouled out of play. So the count evens at 2-2. A 2-run home run this inning by Jillian Holly has given St. Albans a 2-0 lead. And the 2-2 pitch to Conrad, and that's high and outside. The count's gone full at 3-2. Sidney Young waits to hit next. Counts full to Conrad, and here comes the payoff pitch. And that will be inside ball 4, and they're loaded. So that will be the second walk of the inning. And that will load the bases.
Your next batter for the Red Dragons, number 18.
Sidney Young. And the pitch to Young is a called strike 0-1. So Young hits with the bases loaded. With 2 already in, like I said, this is a real chance for St. Albans to really maybe blow this game open up before Cabell Midland even comes to hit. And the ball is fouled back. Count is 0-2. So 0-2 the count to Young. And the 0-2 offering. That is swung on and fouled back again. Count will hold at no balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Only 1 out and 2 runs already in for St. Albans here in this top half of the first inning. The 2-0 offering. Swung on. That ball's hit right to the first baseman. The play is at the dish. They get the lead runner. That's a good play by the Cabell Midland first baseman to get the lead runner. That will be a fielder's choice. The bases will remain loaded. And there are 2 outs. So Bailey Gilbert will now be the hitter. And this would be huge if Cabell Midland can hold him just to the 2 runs as Gilbert fouls it back 0-1. And I think that's the big key, of course, in any of these games. Just limit the damage. If you give up a couple runs, 2 is one thing, but 5 or 6 is something else. And that really makes it difficult to dig out of that kind of hole. As this pitch is a called strike, and it's 0-2. So Cabell Midland can feel fortunate if they can get out of this, only giving up the 2 runs. And here comes the 0-2 delivery, and that's a high for ball 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bailey Gilbert, the 8th hitter to come to the dish here in this first inning. As Nunley waits on deck. The next pitch will just miss, and the count will go 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs already in, and the bases are loaded. And here comes the 2-2 offering, and that's swung on. That ball is looped down in behind third base, and it's caught by the Cabell Midland shortstop to end the inning. But there was damage done, a 2-run home run by Jillian Holly, and at the middle of the first inning, it's St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland coming to bat. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. You got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.com.
And we welcome you back to Little Creek Park here in South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. St. Albans leading Cabell Midland 2-0. St. Albans got a 2-run home run by Jillian Holly in that first inning, but they left the bases loaded. Cabell Midland consider themselves very fortunate that they got out of that inning only giving up the 2 runs. So the first 3 hitters for Cabell Midland will be Jesse Terry, Riley Lucas, and Haley Rowe. So leading things off for Cabell Midland will be Jesse Terry. And we are ready to go here with the bottom half of the first inning. And the pitch is swung on and fouled back. So 0-1 the count. And here comes the 0-1 to Terry. Swung on. That ball is hit. It's a foul ball down the first baseline. Count goes to 0-2. So 0-2 the count. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that's on the outside corner, a little too far outside, and it'll be a ball, so it's 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Jesse Terry, and the 1-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is just a little short pop up to the third baseman. She's over to make the catch for the first out of the Cabell Midland first inning. So Terry pops out to the third baseman for the first out, 1 out, nobody on, and Riley Lucas will now be the hitter. Lucas, as you can see, will hit from the left-hand side of the plate. And the pitch. That'll be low ball 1-0. Here comes the 1 ball offer, and that's over for a called strike. The count evens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch swung on, and this ball is hit out into shallow right field. The second baseman goes back out into the grass to make the catch for the second out of the inning. So that's 2 up and 2 down, and Haley Rowe will now be the hitter for Cabell Midland. As we watch the replay, just a really routine play there for the second baseman to go back on the edge of the grass in shallow right to make the catch there. Here's the pitch. This ball is popped up. It's in foul ground. The first baseman over in front of the dugout and makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. After 1, your score, St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland nothing. As you are watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
Biscuit World, we use the freshest ingredients in our made-from-scratch biscuits. The Biscuit and Gravy Platter. Hot and fresh biscuits, made from scratch gravy. Now that's a meal, served all day long, and only available at Tudor's Biscuit World.
Geno's introduces the Big Cheese, our supersized pizza piled high with extra cheese for only $9.99. A blend of 3 different cheeses, mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone. Try Geno's Big Cheese Pizza for only $9.99.
Did you know that up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home is the air that comes through your basement? A wet, damp basement can be a real problem that can worsen asthma and allergies, affect your indoor air quality, and damage your valuables. Alford Home Solutions will transform your basement into a dry, usable space and improve the air quality in your entire home. Protect your family today. Visit alfordhomesolutions.com for a free estimate.
And we welcome you back to South Charleston as we go to the top of the second inning of this Class AAA game between St. Albans and Cabell Midland. 2-0 is the St. Albans lead. And it'll be the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters for St. Albans here in the second. So Olivia Nunley will lead things off, and here's the first pitch to her, and that's over for a called strike at 0-1. The 2 runs for St. Albans that they got in the first inning are a result of a 2-run home run by Jillian Holly. And she's due up third in this inning. And here's the pitch, and that's ball. The count's 1 ball, 1 strike. So it'll be Nunley, then back to the top of the order with Stoffel, and then Holly, as I mentioned. The 1-1 pitch swung on, fouled back, and count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count. Here in the top of the second inning. 2-0 is the lead for St. Albans. And the 1-2 pitch, and that'll miss, and the count will even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nunley. And the 2-2 pitch swung on. This ball is hit to the third baseman. Third baseman picks it up, brings the ball across the diamond to make the play. That was a nice play by the Cabell Midland third baseman to record the out. So with 1 out and nobody on, we'll go back to the top of the order. And Stoffel will bat. She walked and scored on the Holly home run back in inning number 1. So Kendall Stoffel will hit. With 1 out, nobody aboard, and the pitch is, it will miss for ball 1. They will appeal to see if she went around. The first base umpire said she didn't, and it'll be ball 1. 1-0 the count. And the 1-0 pitch inside ball 2 to Stoffel. And the 2-0 pitch swung on, and that's fouled back out of play down the right field line. Count will be at 2-1. And here comes the 2-1 offering. And that's over for a called strike. The count evens at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball's hit to the shortstop. Takes the nice hop. Shortstop whips it across the diamond, and they make the play for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down. And that will bring Jillian Holly to the dish. She hit a 2-run home run to left field back in the first inning, and that's what's given St. Albans this 2-0 lead. So Holly ready to step up to the plate. And she went deep for a 2-run dinger back in the first inning. And the pitch. Swung on. She pops this one straight up. This is playable, and the catcher and the pitcher run at each other, and they don't make the play, and they call him out. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe it was their interference. Apparently that was the case, and it'll be a 1-2-3 inning. So in the middle of the second, the score remains St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland nothing. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS network and video production.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
Welcome you back to South Charleston as we go to the bottom of the second inning of this girls' AAA affair. St. Albans 2 runs, 2 hits. Cabell Midland was 1-2-3 in the first inning, so it'll be hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up here in the second inning. Pelfrey, Dorsey, and Wallace will be the 3 hitters for Cabell Midland. So Olivia Pelfrey will lead things off. Pelfrey comes to the dish. Will hit from the right-hand side of the plate. It's a 2-0 lead for St. Albans. And here's the first pitch of the second inning. That's high, ball 1, 1-0. So 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch, way outside, ball 2, 2-0. So here comes the 2-0 offering. And that'll be high for ball 3. So the count goes to 3-0 to Olivia Pelfrey, the leadoff hitter here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Cabell Midland Knights. And the 3-0 delivery. And that's over for a called strike. The count's 3-1. So 3-1 the count on Pelfrey. Dorsey waits to hit next. The 3-1 delivery swung on, fouled back. The count is full now at 3-2. So got the payoff pitch coming to Olivia Pelfrey. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. This ball is swung on and fouled back. The count will continue to hold at 3-2. So we'll try it again with the payoff pitch. The 3-2 swung on. This ball is hit over the left fielder's head. It will go all the way to the wall. Rounding first and coming into second with a stand-up double to lead things off in the second inning is Olivia Pelfrey. So Pelfrey leads off the second inning with a double. And they'll have a courtesy runner for her as we take a look at the replay. That ball was hit, and you can see Pelfrey there rounding first and standing up easily at second as the ball went over the head of the left fielder. So it'll be Jenna Dorsey will be the hitter now for the Cabell Midland. As Pelfrey led off with a double to left. And Dorsey digs in. And here's the pitch. She tries to lay down a bunt, and she fouls at 0-1. So 0-1 the count to Dorsey. And the 0-1 delivery. Lays down the bunt. It's foul ball right there in front of the plate. Makes it 0-2. So probably not going to bunt here with 2 strikes on your number 5 hitter. At least I wouldn't think.
Next up for the Cabell Midland Knights, number 20, KK Paulin.
Did you hear that she made contact with the ball outside
Yeah,
the box?
Alex. So, therefore, Dorsey is out by making contact with the ball while she was out of the box, so she is called out. So it'll be KK Wallace will now be the hitter. And it's ball 1-0 to Wallace. I've seen some things happen today, and that's always the case. You see things happen, whether you're talking about on the high school level or college level, that you usually don't see the entire season. As this next pitch is over for a called strike, and the count's 1-1 strike. We've seen some runner interference. We've seen that a couple times today, and making contact. I guess you just would score that. I'm not exact. We'll check the official score. How you actually score that as this next pitch swung on and missed. I don't think it would go as a strikeout, but I just would have to check to see what the official score, how they would record that. But nevertheless, for the big pitcher, it's an out. So with 1 out, Wallace now in the hole at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is outside. The count is 2-2. So Dorsey at the plate, 2-2. I beg your pardon, Wallace at the plate, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. And Wallace is the second out of the inning as she strikes out. So that's 2 out with Pelfrey at second, and it'll be Quinn Ballinger will now be the hitter. So Ballinger hit with 2 outs and a runner at second. And the pitch. Swung on. This ball is hit into foul ground over by the first base side, and it will fall. Nobody will be able to get to it. It's just a foul ball. It'll be 0-1. So 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 pitch swung on. This ball is caught by the shortstop. Beautiful play, a line drive, and that will end the threat of Cabell Midland. So they leave a runner. They don't score any. At the end of 2, it's still St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland nothing. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
After 2 full innings, your score, St. Albans Red Dragons 2, Cabell Midland.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100-plus stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
At Tudor's Biscuit World, we use the freshest ingredients in our made-from-scratch biscuits. The Biscuit and Gravy Platter. Hot and fresh biscuits, made from scratch gravy. Now that's a meal. Served all day long and only available at Tudor's Biscuit World.
Geno's introduces the Big Cheese, our supersized pizza piled high with extra cheese for only $9.99. A blend of 3 different cheeses, mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone. Try Geno's Big Cheese Pizza for only $9.99.
And we welcome you back to South Charleston as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. 2-0 for St. Albans. And Cabell Midland 0-1-0. As it'll be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitter up for the Lady Red Dragons. Stevenson, Payne, and Glancy. Here's the pitch, and this ball is hit to center field. The center fielder out there for St. Albans goes back to make the play, and that's the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch and 1 out here in the St. Albans 3rd inning. And here we watch it on the replay. First pitch, ball was really hit pretty hard, but the center fielder able to get a good beat on it, go right back on it, make the play. So with 1 out, nobody on, it'll be Payne will be the hitter, and the pitch is over for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Oh, 0-1 the count on Payne. She drew a walk her first time up. Now she's in the hole at 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 delivery. And that just missed. The count goes to 1-2. So here's the 1-2 offering to Payne. That ball is fouled back. Count will hold at 1 ball, 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2 offering, and that'll be outside, and the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 to Gracie Payne. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, missed, strike 3. Catcher dropped it, but just makes the throw down to first for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down for the Lady Red Dragons. And Taylor Glancy will be the hitter. Glancy struck out back in the 1st inning. She's 0 for 1. And she'll bat with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Right now, the difference is the 2-run home run by Jillian Holly as this pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Stoffel walked, and then Holly deposited a pitch over the left field fence for a 2-run home run, and that's been the scoring in the ball game, 2-0. Cabell Midland got out of a bases-loaded jam in that first inning after those 2 runs were scored. Here's a 1-0 pitch. This ball is popped up. This ball is hit down the right field line, and it's going to be out of play. Giving chase was the right fielder and the first baseman for Cabell Midland, but like I said, no chance. Ball out of play. So the count goes to 0-2. I think they're waiting to retrieve some softballs back into the park. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch swung on. This ball is popped up and is out into shallow center field. The center fielder will come in to make the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Middle of the third, it is St. Albans in the lead by the score of 2-0. You are watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and video. We're back here in South Charleston at Little Creek Park. I'm Maris Lowry going to the bottom half of the third inning. Cabell Midland 2 runs, 2 hits. I beg your pardon, St. Albans 2 runs, 2 hits. Cabell Midland no runs, 1 hit. As it will be the bottom half of the third inning, and the bottom third of the order will step to the dish for Cabell Midland. And the first pitch is going to be a roller down the first baseline, and it's going to be a fair ball. And that's going to be a hit. So a little squibber down the first base line by Sidney Young will result in a hit. I beg your pardon, by Ballinger will result in a hit. So it'll be Purdue will be the hitter. And the pitch is swung on and fouled. As we watch the replay. Nope. So there's no pitch. Umpire called time. Not really sure what the discussion is there. As Purdue hits. This ball is hit out in the outfield in the gap. It gets past the center fielder. It'll go to the wall. And St. Albans will get a run on the board. And that's going to end up being a triple. And St. Albans, or Cabell Midland, is on the board, cutting the St. Albans lead to 2-1 as Purdue triples. So the run will score from first base to cut the lead to 2-1, and Purdue's at third, and Terry will now be the hitter with still nobody out here in the third inning. So Cabell Midland cutting the lead in half. And the pitch swung on and fouled back to Terry. The count is 0-1.
Now up to bat for the night,
So runner at third, nobody out. And here's the pitch to Terry. She lays it down, a bunt. The pitcher feels it. They throw to first. They get the out there. Play at the plate. She's out at the plate. They turn a double play. They turn a double play, and they get her at the plate. A fantastic play by St. Albans to be able to turn that double play. And a very big play in this game. As we see the replay, they laid the bunt down. They definitely got the out at first, and then the throw with the runner coming at the plate, and they get her at home plate to get the double play. The player was hesitant at first. There's the out at first. There's the play at the plate. There's the tag, and they turn the double play. So 2 out now, nobody on, and this will bring up Riley Lucas, who grounded out to the second baseman her first time up.
I just did it, yeah. I don't think, look in this little, see this little spot right here? Look right here.
So what a big play in this game for St. Albans to turn that double play and nail the runner at the plate. And the pitch is high, ball 1. We've had a little bit of everything in this game. We've had a triple. We've had a 2-run home run. We've had a runner thrown out at the plate. And the pitch swung on. And this ball is caught by the first baseman. And that will end a very exciting inning. And we've played 3 exciting innings of softball. But Cabell Midland does get on the board after 3. It's 2-1 in favor of St. Albans. As you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions. Going to the 4th inning of a 2-1 game. It's been a very entertaining game. And in the top half of the 4th inning for St. Albans, it'll be the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitter up, Conrad, Young, and Gilbert. So you can put a run up there for Cabell Midland as they're able to put one across the plate. So Conrad will lead things off. Conrad walked back in the first inning. And the first pitch is over for ball 1, and then another pitch, and the count evens at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. That ball's hit to the third baseman. Third baseman makes the play with a nice throw to first base. That was a really nice play for the first out of the 4th inning. So 1 out, nobody on, and Sydney Young will be the hitter. She had a fielder's choice back in the first inning. And the pitch to her swung on and missed, strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Young. And here comes the 0-1 offering. Swung on. That ball is driven to center field. Back goes the center fielder. It's up overhead. It's a ground rule double as the ball bounced off the warning track over the center field wall. And it'll be a ground rule double for Sydney Young. So a one-out double puts Young at second base, and Bailey Gilbert will now be the hitter. She popped out back in the first inning. She's 0 for 1 is Gilbert. As we watch the replay, when that ball was first hit, I thought it had a chance maybe to get out of the ballpark, and it went over the head of the center fielder and went over the fence on a hop, which is, by rule, a ground rule double. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled back. Count is 0-1 to Bailey Gilbert. St. Albans scored 2 in the first inning on a 2-run home run by Jillian Holly, and Cabell Midland answered back in the bottom of the third with a run of their own to cut the lead in half to 2-1. As we were playing the top of the fourth inning, here's the pitch, swung on, fouled back, and the count is 0-2. So 0-2 the count to Bailey Gilbert. St. Albans trying to answer back after Cabell Midland got a run in the bottom half of the third. This ball's hit foul down the third baseline. So the count holds at 0-2, and here comes the 0-2 pitch, swung on. This ball is hit, going back to into the right field, and a nice job by the right fielder to make the catch. When that ball was first hit, I wasn't sure the right fielder was going to get it, and she was able to get back and be able to squeeze it for the second out of the inning. So 2 out, and Nunley will be the hitter. As we watch the replay, you can see the right fielder first came in and then backed up on the ball and made a nice catch out there in right field. So with 2 down, Nunley will be the hitter. Nunley grounded out to third back in the second inning. She's 0 for 1. And the pitch is ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, up high, ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 delivery. And that's on the inside corner for a called strike. The count goes to 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Swung on and missed. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will end the St. Albans fourth inning. They strand a runner, and in the middle of the fourth inning, it's a 2-1 lead for St. Albans over Cabell Midland. Cabell Midland, as you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
And we welcome back here to South Charleston. The West Virginia teens are changing the game. West Virginia Game Changer is designed to educate and support and empower the youth to make healthy choices as they prepare to be leaders of tomorrow. So as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, it's still a 2-1 lead for St. Albans and for Cabell Midland. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 hitters up: Rowe, Pelfrey, and Dorsey. Rowe 0 for 1 as she popped out to the first baseman back in the first inning. So bottom half of the fourth, Haley Rowe to lead things off. Now she backs out of the box. And the first pitch is over for a called strike, 0-1. Comes the 0-1 delivery. That's a little low, and the count evens at 1-1. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-2. So Haley Rowe in the hole at 1 ball, 2 strikes as she leads things off here in the home half of the fourth inning. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2 offering. Swung on. This ball is hit down the left field line. That's going to be foul and out of play. Count will still hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom half of the fourth inning, and this 2-1 battle, St. Albans leading Cabell Midland. The winner will be able to put their feet up tomorrow morning and rest, as this next pitch is called strike 3, and Rowe is out on strike, so she's the first out of the Cabell Midland fourth inning. The loser of this game will have to be back in action at 9:45 in the morning and take on Washington, who they eliminated John Marshall by the score of 5-4 earlier. So Pelfrey will be the hitter. She's 1 for 1, doubled her last time up back in the second inning. And the pitch to her is swung on. That ball is hit down the right field line, the right fielder over to make the catch, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Cabell Midland here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And it'll be Dorsey will be the hitter. Dorsey was the one that was called out on the batter interference back in the second inning. And she'll bat with 2 out, nobody aboard here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And the pitch is outside, ball 1. So here comes the delivery to Dorsey. That ball is swung and fouled back. And the count is 0-2. Got to get a couple more softballs thrown back into the field here. We've had a lot of foul balls here today. Got to make sure that they return them back to the field of play. The 0-2 coming to Dorsey. And the 0-2 pitch. Is fouled, and it'll stay at 0-2. Actually, they'll call that a ball. Beg your pardon, it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2 offering. And that's swung on. The catcher missed it. It goes as a strikeout. The throw down to first gets away from the first baseman. It goes down the right field corner. The throw to second and safe. So they strike the batter out, and then she ends up on second base. So Dorsey strikes out, but because the catcher dropped the ball on the third strike, she's able to get the first, and then trying to throw her out at first as we watch the replay, a throwing error. And when the ball gets past the first baseman, on that error on the throw, that will allow Dorsey to go to second. So with 2 out Wallace will be the hitter. K.K. Wallace 0 for 1, struck out back in the second inning. And the pitch to Wallace as he tries to square to bunt is ball 1. 1-0 the count.
If you get there's programs somewhere you can find, I don't know where they are, but someplace for the media has them. I get here early enough that I didn't get one. Okay.
And the pitch to Wallace. She squares to bunt this one. She lays it down. It's fair. The catcher picks it up, throws it to first, and that's the final out of the inning. So after full complete innings of play, your score is St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland 1. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFSH Network and Video Productions.
After 4 innings on field B, your score, St. Albans 2, Cabell
Stores knows West Virginia. But what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100-plus stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
At Tudor's Biscuit World, we use the freshest ingredients in our made-from-scratch biscuits. The Biscuit and Gravy Platter. Hot and fresh biscuits, made from scratch gravy. Now that's a meal. Served all day long and only available at Tudor's Biscuit World.
Geno's introduces the Big Cheese, our supersized pizza piled high with extra cheese for only $9.99. A blend of 3 different cheeses, mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone. Try Geno's Big Cheese Pizza for only $9.99.
We welcome you back into Little Creek Park here in South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry going to the 5th inning. 2-1 is the lead for St. Albans over Cabell Midland. And St. Albans will have the top of their order up. It'll be Stoffel, Holly, and Stevenson. Stoffel drew a walk, scored on the home run by Holly, and then grounded out the shortstop. So she will lead things off here in the top half of the 5th inning. In a 2-1 game, St. Albans in front, and the pitch. Swung on and missed strike 1. So 0-1 is the count to Kendall Stoffel. And the 0-1 offering. Swung on and missed strike 2, so she's quickly in the hole at 0-2.
Hey, your camera is black. It's off.
So 0-2 the count.
Plug it and push in
The 0-2 pitch swung on, foul down the right field line.
Yeah, the SDI, that's the only thing I can think of. Is somebody standing on it?
So 0-2 the count to Kendall Stoffel. And the 0-2 pitch, once again, foul down the right field line.
No. All right, I'll be there in a minute.
So 0-2 the count.
Just call it like
we're in the top half of the 5th inning. And the pitch. Swung on. This ball was hit. And this ball will get through for a base hit into left field, and the leadoff man's aboard. So Stoffel is aboard with a leadoff hit. And Holly will now be the hitter. She's accounted for both runs for St. Albans here tonight with a 2-run blast back in the 2nd inning. And the pitch is high, ball 1. So 1-0 is the count to Jillian Holly with a runner at first and nobody out. And the pitch, that's high. Here's a throw down to first. The runner's back in as the pitch is high and it goes 2-0 the count. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the pitch to Holly. And that's over for a called strike. The count goes to 2-1. This was the scenario back in the first inning. Stoffel was hit first, and Holly hit the 2-run home run. And that's been the difference in the game, and that's why St. Albans is up 2-1. As the 2-1 pitch is swung on, this ball's back out of play, and the count will be even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 the count to Jillian Holly. As I mentioned, a 2-run home run in the first, and then she was out with a pop out to the catcher in the second. And the 2-2 offering. That's high, ball 3. Count's gone full. Stoffel, the runner at first. Holly, the hitter. Count's gone full. Nobody out here in the 5th inning, and a very tight and exciting 2-1 lead for St. Albans. And here's the payoff pitch swung on. This ball is popped up, and it's going to come into shallow center field. The center fielder can't get it. The center fielder was playing so deep that what looked like perhaps could be a routine play, the ball falls in for a bloop single, and St. Albans has got something cooking right now as they got runners at first and second with back-to-back hits. And nobody out, and Stevenson coming to the dish. Taven Stevenson is 1 for 2. She tripled back in the first inning. She was stranded there, and then she flied out to left field as she takes a called strike, 0-1. So two aboard, nobody out here in the 5th inning. And here's the pitch. That's way high. Count evens at a ball and a strike. So 2 on and nobody out. Stevenson with a 1-1 count. And the pitch swung on. That ball's chopped foul. The count goes to 1-2. So St. Albans trying to get a little breathing room. They lead 2-1 in the 5th, and they've got 2 on and nobody out, and trying to add to their lead. As the count is 1-2 to Stevenson. And the 1-2 pitch. That's way outside. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So they got 2 on, 2-2 the count, nobody out, 5th inning. And the 2-2 offering. Swung on and missed strike 3. What a huge out that was as Stevenson goes down swinging for the first out in the Cabell Midland 5th. And that'll bring Payne to the plate. Payne has walked in the first inning, struck out in the 3rd. She's 0 for 1. So Gracie Payne will hit with 1 out and 2 on. And the pitch. Swung on. This is going to fall. So no, it won't. The ball held up there too long as it's caught by the right fielder. So she flies out to right. I thought there for a minute that ball was going to fall in, but the ball hangs up and Payne flies out for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 out. And it'll be Glancy coming to the dish. So after 2 were on and nobody out, the last 2 batters, Stevenson struck out. Payne flies out to right, and Taylor Glancy will be the hitter. She struck out in the 1st, and she flied out in the 3rd. She's 0 for 2. And the pitch is high, ball 1. So 1-0 the count. To Glancy. And the 1-0 offering. Swung on and fouled back. The count evens at 1-1. If Glancy can keep it alive, Conrad would hit next. But after 2 were on, the last 2 got outs, and St. Albans looking for a big 2-out hit. As this will be low ball 2. 2-1 the count. And here's the 2-1 offering. Swung on and fouled back. The count evens at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Here in the top half of the 5th inning.
It was unplugged. There's a barrel right here.
And the 2-2 pitch. That's called strike 3, and that's how the inning will end. So after St. Albans got 2 on and nobody out, the last 3 are retired, and we are in the middle of the 5th inning. Your score is St. Albans 2, Cabell Midland 1. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. You got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.com.
We welcome you back to Little Creek Park here in South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry, 2-3-1 for St. Albans, 1-3-0 for Cabell Midland as the Knights come to bat here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. All Seasons Lawn and Landscape, whether you need help in landscaping with a perfect lawn or whether you need your lawn manufactured lawn or manicured lawn, you can call All Seasons Lawn and Landscaping. All Season Lawn and Landscaping, proud supporters of girls softball and the Ritchie County Lady Rebels. So Ballinger will lead things off. It'll be the bottom third for Cabell Midland, the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters. Ballinger, Blanks, and Purdue here in the 5th inning. In a 1-run game, 2-1, and the pitch is swung on, and this ball is a foul ball down the third baseline. So count is 0-1. And the pitch, that's high. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is hit down the first baseline over to the first baseman and actually goes to the bag and recorded the out.
Making their way to the batter's box, number 32, Simone Blanks.
So Blanks will now be the hitter. And she will hit with 1 out, nobody aboard. And the pitch is a called strike, 0-1. The pitch to Blanks, called strike 2, 0-2. So 0-2 the count. And here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on, strike 3. So she's out on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And it'll be Purdue will be the hitter. She tripled her last time up. She's 1 for 1. And she hits a little chopper right there in front of the plate. The pitcher picks it up, throws to first. It's an easy inning, 3 up, 3 down. After 5, it's still St. Albans leading Cabell Midland by the score of 2-1 as you are watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
We're going to the 6th inning. And St. Albans has a 2-1 lead. And for St. Albans, it'll be the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters here in the top half of the 6th inning. As the Lady Red Dragons lead 2-1. And the first pitch is a called strike, 0-1 to Jaden Conrad. So 0-1 the count. It'll be Conrad, Young, and Gilbert here in the St. Albans 6th inning. As the next pitch is outside, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. We've had very competitive, tight games here in Class AAA. As this pitch is swung on, this ball is hit to center field. The center fielder up to make the grab and retire Conrad as the first out of the 6th inning. So 1 out, nobody on. And Sydney Young will be the hitter. She had a fielder's choice in the 1st inning and a double in the 4th.
Your next batter, number 18, Sydney Young.
And the pitch to Young, swung on and fouled back. Count is 0-1. For the winner, they can relax a little bit because they know they won't play till tomorrow afternoon. For the loser, they have a 9:45 game with Washington. As this pitch is low, and it is 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1 the count on Young. And she bats here with 1 out, nobody on. And the 2-1 pitch swung on. This ball's popped up. The shortstop comes over, makes the play, and that's 2 up and 2 down. So Young is retired. And with 2 outs and nobody aboard, it'll be Bailey Gilbert will be the hitter. She's 0 for 2, popped out in the 1st inning, and she flied out in the 4th. So Bailey Gilbert will hit with 2 out and nobody aboard in the 6th inning. And the pitch is over for a called strike, 0-1. But the winner of this game is in a great position to bring home the AAA title. And I'll tell you about after this pitch. This is swung on, and this ball is hit to the shortstop, makes the catch to end the inning. I'll tell you about that in the next inning. 3 up, 3 down. Middle of the 6th inning, it is a 2-1 lead for St. Albans as you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Production. That'll pop out to the shortstop.
Stores knows West Virginia. But what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
At Tudor's Biscuit World, we use the freshest ingredients in our made-from-scratch biscuits. The Biscuit and Gravy Platter. Hot and fresh biscuits, made from scratch gravy. Now that's a meal. Served all day long and only available at Tudor's Biscuit World.
Geno's introduces the Big Cheese, our supersized pizza piled high with extra cheese for only $9.99. A blend of 3 different cheeses, mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone. Try Geno's Big Cheese Pizza for only $9.99.
We're going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It'll be the top third of the batting order for Cabell Midland as Terry will come to the dish. And the pitch is a called strike 0-1. It'll be Terry, Lucas, and Rowe here in the Cabell Midland 6th inning. And here's the 0-1 offer to Jesse Terry. And it's swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. So 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So 3 pitches, and Terry's out on strikes. And that's the first out of the Cabell Midland 6th inning. And Cabell Midland now down to their last 5 outs in this game, as Riley Lucas will now be the hitter.
Whoever wins, you make sure you get the celebration.
And the pitch to Lucas is high, ball 1. The winner of this game will have to be beaten twice tomorrow and won't play until the afternoon. For the loser, they've got to get back up and be back at the ballpark to play a well-rested Washington team at 9:45 tomorrow morning. So for the loser of this game, it's a very quick turnaround. And the pitch is low for a ball. So count is 1 ball, 1 strike on Riley Lucas. And the pitch swung on, and this ball is hit foul down the first baseline. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch swung on. And this ball's popped up, second baseman up under it, squeezes it for Cabell Midland, for St. Albans from the bat of Cabell Midland's Riley Lucas for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down, and Rowe will now be the hitter. She's 0 for 2. She popped out to the first baseman in the first, struck out in the fourth. So here's the pitch, and that's over for a called strike, 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 offering, and that's a little low. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking ahead for St. Albans in the top of the 7th, they will have the 9th 1 and 2 hitters due up. And the pitch is swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Can you go down and make sure that they're off the cabling?
And here comes the 1-2 offering to Rowe.
There is a barrel down there that's in the fence.
And that's outside, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The 2-1 lead for St. Albans over Cabell Midland here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the 2-2 pitch. And that's high and outside. The count goes full at 3-2. So 3-2 the count to Haley Rowe. And here's the payoff pitch. And that'll be ball 4.
Hey, unplug the SDI cable real quick. Well, unplug the
So
SDI
Rowe is
cable.
aboard. The tying run's aboard here in the 6th inning with 2 out. And the go-ahead run, Pelfrey, will come to the plate. She's got a double and a flyout. She's 1 for 2.
Yeah, the BNC, kind of push it on the wire a little bit, kind of push it on there.
And we will have a courtesy runner.
Now stepping into the batter's box for Cabell Midland Knights. Number 52, Olivia Pelfrey.
So Pelfrey will be the hitter with a runner at first and 2 outs.
Nothing, you're black.
And here's the pitch. And that's over for a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit foul down the first baseline. Count goes to 0-2. So 0-2 the count to Olivia Pelfrey here in the home half of the 6th inning for Cabell Midland. The Knights trail 2-1. The 0-2 pitch outside. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tie and run at first. Pelfrey represents the go-ahead run at the dish. And here comes the 1-2 offering to Pelfrey. That's outside. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's right to your left.
So 2-2's the count with 2 out. And here comes the 2-2 offering, and that's ball swung on. Might be a tough play for the pitcher. She's able to make the play, turn around, throw to first to retire the side. So we played 6 full innings, and it's a 2-1 St. Albans lead over Cabell Midland as you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
All right, I'm going to try to fix it.
And we welcome you back to South Charleston, Little Creek Park. I'm Maris Lowry going to the top half of the 7th inning. St. Albans, 2 runs back in the 1st inning, a 2-run home run by Jillian Hawley, and that's been the difference as they lead St. Albans 2-1. Or St. Albans leads Cabell Midland rather 2-1. Cabell Midland got a run back in the 3rd inning, and we haven't had any runs scored in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and now we're into the 7th inning. And for St. Albans, it'll be the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters up, as Nunley will lead things off for the Lady Red Dragons, and she'll take ball 1 on the first pitch. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that'll be a called strike. The count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Nunley, Stoffel, and Holly. 9 1-2 hitters for St. Albans. And the 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Whether you need help in landscaping or you need a perfect manicured lawn, you can call the fine people at All Seasons Lawn and Landscaping. As this ball is skied to center field, the center fielder up under it squeezes it for the first out of the 7th inning. So out number 1. As Nunley flies out to center field, and Stoffel now will be the hitter. Walked, scored a run, grounded out, and got a hit. 1 for 2 with a run scored. As I was telling you about, All Seasons Lawn and Landscape are proud supporters of girls softball and the Ritchie County Lady Rebels. So here's the pitch. This ball is swung on and fouled back. 0-1 is the count to Stoffel as we're back to the top of the order with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. In a tight 2-1 game in favor of St. Albans. The 0-1 delivery, swung on, fouled back. The count is now 0-2. So 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 offering to Stoffel just missed. It'll be a ball 1, 1-2 the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kendall Stoffel with 1 out, nobody aboard here in the 7th inning. And the 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled back. Count will hold at 1-2. And Jillian Holly waits to hit next. The difference thus far in this game is off the bat of Jillian Holly. Is back in the 1st inning. She had a 2-run home run, and that's been the difference as St. Albans leads 2-1. Here's the pitch over the plate, called strike 3, 2 up, 2 down, and Holly will now hit with 2 out and nobody on. So when Cabell Midland comes to the dish in the bottom of the 7th inning, they will have the 5th, 6th, and 7th hitters up. So right here, Holly will hit. She's been the difference in the game. Her 2-run home run in the 1st inning has given this lead to St. Albans, and this ball was swung on and driven down the 3rd baseline, but foul. Count goes to 0-1. So 0-1 to Holly. And here comes the pitch. And that's over for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2. So 0-2 to Holly. And the 0-2 pitch swung on. That's right back up the middle. A solid single into center field. The ball gets by the center fielder and goes all the way to the wall. Holly rounding 2nd, going to 3rd. There's no throw. It'll be a single and a 2-base error as that was smacked right up the middle. And the center fielder had it, and the ball went right between her legs and got by her and goes to the wall. So Holly goes all the way to 3rd. So as I mentioned, that'll be a single and a 2-base error. And that's a big potential run out there on 3rd base for St. Albans. As Stevenson will now be the hitter. There's a called strike to Stevenson. Stevenson's 1 for 3. Got a hit, flied out, and struck out. So Holly at 3rd with 2 out. 0-1 count to Stevenson. The pitch swung on. Ball hit to right field. The right fielder comes in, makes the play, and that will end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It is St. Albans leading Cabell Midland 2-1 as you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA Softball Tournament on the NFHS Network and Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
We welcome you back to South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry. We're going to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and St. Albans trying to advance to the championship round, and they can do that if they can get 3 outs for Cabell Midland. Cabell Midland will need at least 1 run to continue this game, and it will be the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters up for Cabell Midland here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cabell Midland has not had a hit since the 3rd inning. So it's a 2-1 game, and the leadoff hitter in the bottom half of the 7th inning will be Jenna Dorsey. It'll be Dorsey, Wallace, and Ballinger, the 3 scheduled hitters for Cabell Midland here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. All these games have been very close, very competitive, coming down to the end. The earlier game was a 5-4 win by Washington over John Marshall. We've got another 1-run game here. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled back. So 0-1 is the count to Dorsey, leading things off for the Cabell Midland Knights here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the pitch, swung on and fouled, 0-2. For the loser, it's a tough turnaround. They're going to have to come back and play at 9:45 tomorrow against Washington, an elimination game. For the winner, not only do you get the luxury of not playing until tomorrow afternoon, but they have whoever loses this game, whoever wins that 9:45 game's got to beat you twice. As the 0-2 pitch is outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 the count. To Dorsey. And here's the 1-2 offering. Swung on. It's fair ball. Back to the pitcher. Throws to first. Gets the first out of the inning. So Dorsey is retired. And she grounds out to the pitcher for the first out. And KK Wallace will now be the hitter.
Number 20, KK Wallace.
So Wallace will bat with 1 out and nobody on. St. Albans trying to close it out. Cabell Midland trying to keep it alive. Pitch over for a called strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a little low. Count evens at a ball and a strike. So 1-1 the count. And the pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Wallace. 1 out. Bases empty here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the 1-2 pitch. That's inside. Count evens at 2-2. Washington getting plenty of rest, and they'll take on the loser of this game at 9:45 in the morning. For the winner, like I said, not only do they get the luxury of not playing until tomorrow afternoon, but they had to be beaten twice. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's swung on and fouled back. The count will hold at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases empty. And here's the pitch. And that's high for ball 3. Counts full, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. And here's the 3-2. Swung on and fouled back. Count will hold at 3-2. So we'll have another payoff pitch here to Wallace. And here comes the payoff pitch. That'll be low ball 4, so the tying run is on, and the winning run will come to the plate. So Wallace will draw a base on ball, and Ballinger will represent the winning run as she will come to the dish with 1 out and a runner at first.
Your next batter for Cabell Midland Knights, number 11, Quinn Ballinger.
So Ballinger hits the right-hand side of the plate. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled back 0-1. Wallace at first with 1 out representing the tying run. Ballinger at the dish representing the winning run. 0-1 the count. And the 0-1 pitch. That's over for a called strike. The count's 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is a dribbler, and he'll let it roll foul down the third baseline. So the count will hold at 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 offering. Swung on, fouled out of play. Over behind the first base dugout. The count will still hold at 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back again. Anything close with 2 strikes protecting the plate. And Ballinger's working hard. And once again, here comes the 0-2. Swung on and fouled back again. This has been quite a sequence. So Gwen Ballinger at the plate in the hole at 0-2. And the 0-2 offering. And that's high for ball 1. 1-2. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's low. The count evens at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Runner at first. We're in the bottom half of the 7th inning. St. Albans trying to hang on. They lead in the ball game 2-1. The 2-2 offering swung on, fouled back. Ballinger is hanging in there. Anything close. Trying to make contact. Here comes the 2-2 again. This is swung on. That's through. A base hit into left field. And now the winning run is aboard. As Cabell Midland has the tying run in scoring position. And what an at-bat that was for Ballinger with a big hit right there. Ballinger now represents the winning run at first base. So they have 2 on and 1 out. And St. Albans going to have a meeting at the mound, and let's see what they elect to do, as it'll be Blanks, the scheduled hitter for Cabell Midland. So the tying run is at second, the winning run is at first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. But that was a really, really good at bat for Gwen Ballinger. She hung in there, and found a pitch that she could hit, and she's able to get it through for a base hit into left field. And she will represent the winning run. So runners at first and second with only 1 out.
Now, stepping into the batter's box for the Cabell Midland Knights, number 32, Simone Blank.
So Blanks will be the hitter. And here's the pitch to Blanks. And that's over for a called strike, 0-1. Simone Blanks hitting for Cabell Midland. She's 1 for 2, got a hit in the third inning, struck out in the fifth. And here's the 0-1. Swung on. This ball is hit to the second baseman. She's able to flip it to second. Safe. All the way around. They have a run down at third. They throw the ball at third. The ball gets away. The ball goes down the line. The tying run has scored for Cabell Midland. And now all the runners move up, and they have runners at third and second. And the winning run is just 60 feet away. So Cabell Midland has tied the game here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And Purdue will now be the hitter. The winning run for Cabell Midland, just 60 feet away. And let's see, with one out, if St. Albans, they're going to have to bring everybody in, and let's see if they elect to walk Purdue to load them up. That way they'd have a force at any base. But Cabell Midland, who had not had a hit since back in the third inning, have been able to manufacture a run here to tie the game in the bottom of the seventh inning at 2 and have the winning run at third with only one out. The run at second really means nothing. It's the runner at third. Everybody's coming in. Let's see if St. Albans will elect to walk the bases loaded. They will not, or at least at this point it doesn't look like, as Purdue is the hitter. The pitch, she tries to bunt. She pops it up. It's caught, and that is the second out. So Purdue pops up, and now we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Jesse Terry. Terry's 0 for 3. Winning run at third. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike one. We're tied at 2 here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. And here's the 0-1 to Terry. On its way. And that's inside and low. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabell Midland with a chance to win it. The winning run at third. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. The ball's a little blooper. It's fair, and that's the game-winning hit. Cabell Midland rallies with a 2-run bottom of the seventh inning, and Cabell Midland has defeated St. Albans 3-2 as Jessie Terry, being mobbed by her teammates, she gets the game-winning hit, a little blooper over the head of the first baseman down the right field line, and a 2-run seventh. And how about that? Cabell Midland defeats St. Albans, and only the second time this year that St. Albans has suffered a loss. They are now 31-2 as Cabell Midland wins the game in spectacular fashion, scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the seventh and winning the game 3-2. What outstanding game. The final score is Cabell Midland 3-2. Here's the game-winning hit. As we watch it, just a little blooper right over the first baseman's head out into right field. And the runner from third comes in, and Cabell Midland, as you can see, being very excited out of their dugout, they get the win. So Cabell Midland wins the game by the score of 3-2. We'll come back and recap as you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2021 Class AAA softball tournament on the NFHS network and video production.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. You got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.com.
And we welcome you back to Little Creek Park here in South Charleston. I'm Maris Lowry, and what a fantastic finish as Cabell Midland, they rally for 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they defeat St. Albans 3-2. As you can see the line score there, 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Cabell Midland, 2 runs and 4 hits for St. Albans. But St. Albans led 2-0 in the first inning as they got a 2-run home run by Jillian Hawley. Cabell Midland pushed a run across in the 3rd inning, and the game stayed scoreless through the 4th, 5th, 6th inning. And in the 7th, St. Albans wasn't able to score. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, when Cabell Midland came to bat, they had only had 3 hits. They hadn't had a hit since the 3rd inning, and they were able to get 2 hits and win the ball game, including the game winner. And the game winner was delivered by Jesse Terry. And in spectacular fashion, Cabell Midland has defeated St. Albans by the score of 3-2. And it's only the 2nd loss of the season for St. Albans. As we watch the replay again, there's the game-winning hit, a little soft blooper right over the first baseman's head into right field, and the winning run crosses the plate. And you can see Cabell Midland pouring out of the dugout as they're obviously very excited, and now they're in great position. So here's the situation. Tomorrow at 9:45, St. Albans, after a loss like this, will have to bounce back and play Washington at 9:45. The winner of that game will take on Cabell Midland, and I believe that's a 2:15 start, and will have to beat Cabell Midland twice. If Cabell Midland wins the 2:15 game, of course, they're crowned the AAA champion. But if the winner of Washington and St. Albans beats Cabell Midland, then we'll have to go to a decisive game that will follow, I'm guessing, about 30 to 40 minutes after that 2:15 game. So figure somewhere around, 4:30, 4:45. So we'll see how it all unfolds tomorrow, but we appreciate your attendance here on the NFHS Network and video production. So once again, the final score, 3-2, Cabell Midland defeats St. Albans. I'm Maris Lowry saying good night, everybody.